A blessed day to you, all my sports to the bone people. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope everybody is doing okay. Hope you're all enjoying this beautiful day. So, in this one, we are going to be talking some Test cricket, ODI cricket, and T20 cricket. Now, a couple days ago, Miles Bascom, that's the director of cricket in West Indies, confirmed that players will be eligible for selection, whether it is test cricket, ODI cricket, or T20 cricket, even if they did not take part in the regional form of that format. So, for example, a man can be selected to play test cricket even if he did not take part in the first class in the 4-day regional championship. A man can be eligible for selection even for ODIs, even if he did not take part in the Super 50. I'm going to give you all the information. Just give a listening ear until the end and let me know what you all think in the comment section. All right. So I am taking this bit of information here from The Guardian. They have the full article, right? They have the interview that was done by Miles Bascom. So I'm going to be doing a lot of reading in this video. So just bear with me to the end, and after reading the article, I will give my opinion, right? So let me go into it. So once again, shout out to The Guardian. This is their information. So the headline says, door open for Pooran, Hope and King to play Test cricket, right? That is the title that they are working with. So let me go down into the article now. It says, West Indies players can now be selected to play in any format, whether it's Tests, T20s, or ODIs, even if they do not take part, even if they do not play in the corresponding domestic format. It says Cricket West Indies Director of Cricket Miles Bascom confirmed this on Monday when asked via phone if players can be selected for tests without playing in the regional first class competition. Right? They're saying in the past, West Indies players were not selected if they did not play in the domestic competitions. And they are giving us an example here from all the way back in 1995. Let me just share it. It says in 1995, opener Desmond Haynes was not selected for the West Indies home series against Australia, when a commitment with Western Providence in South Africa, in South Africa's Castle Cup, caused him to miss Barbados' first 4-day match against Jamaica. Listen to this. Despite finishing the Caribbean tournament with 470 runs at an average of 67.14 with a high score of 200. How we wish these days we would have somebody missing one or two for the regional championship game and still being able to score like this. So it says 19 years later, in 2014, off-spinner Sunil Narayan, who opted to play in the Indian Premier League final with KKR, missed the deadline to return home for a preparatory training camp for a test series against New Zealand and was not selected. Right? Now they say both Haynes and Narayan never played a single test after. Alright, so it says, over the years, with the emergence of franchise cricket, players have utilized the opportunity to earn millions of dollars from playing cricket. Right? That is what they're saying. They say players have expressed interest to play in tests, but because of the schedule of cricket, it was not possible for them to return to the Caribbean to play first class cricket. So apparently CWI, they have decided to become flexible. They are not saying that you can play one or two of the first class games. You can, if you are performing well in franchise cricket all over the world, you can just come and play test cricket, it would appear. Let me go finish it, go further down in it. It says, in order to meet the players halfway, Bascom said, and I quote, they are aware of the pack cricket schedules, end quote. It says the former West Indies cricketer used the upcoming England and Bangladesh tours as examples. This is him, and I quote, we have England tour to the Caribbean, running into the regional Super 50 and then overlapping with the Bangladesh series. It's very possible that players who play in multi-formats may not be able to participate in Super 50, right? In quote. That is what he was saying. He went on to say, and I quote, they will not be able to represent the West Indies like that if they should continue how they are doing it now. Miles Bascom said, this is the same thing. They would not be able to represent West Indies in the old policy if they did not play, right? It goes on to say, this development means that players like Shea Hope, Brandon King, Nicholas Pooran, and I will add Shimron Hitmyer, Rutherford, and a couple others, right? Once they declare themselves available, can be selected by head coach Andre Kohli for the test series against Bangladesh. Now, this is very interesting, my people. I am going to wait and see how many of these players will make themselves available to play test cricket. They are getting a total bypass from playing the first class championship, right? They would say they're above it. T20 cricket is totally different. 4-day cricket, you might be playing at a high level, yes, when you're playing international T20 and franchise T20. But, it takes a lot of discipline to stay out there, occupy the crease, curve, your eagerness to try and strike the ball and bat for a day if necessary, right? You all know that I have always been a big advocate for players playing red ball cricket, local red ball cricket if they are going to go in and play, test cricket. I can understand players not being able to play the entirety of the tournament. So I was always saying, if they can give us 3-4 games, sometimes only a couple of games, but if they can give us half of the first class games, I would be okay with that. Because we can see talent, Fans are not stupid. We can see players that are talented, and we can look and say, if these guys should say, all right, they are going to put themselves to the test, they are going to settle down and play. We think they have the technique to really go out there and play test cricket. But we have always said that, listen, you need to prepare yourself. It's a mental preparation as well as it's a physical preparation. To go and play T20 cricket and the entire game finished in 3.5 hours, 4 hours. That's a total different beast from playing 4-day cricket. Not saying they are not able to. A lot of these guys played, some form of senior cuppers or some form of cricket like that growing up. But let us see, my viewers and subscribers, Let me finish read this article here. So it says, however, former Trinidad and Tobago cricketer and cricket analyst Andre Lawrence is cautious about the move, and so am I. Before I even give you what Lawrence is saying, I have always said, if we tell players that they can just go and play franchise cricket all over and they still get selected for the test team, right? Still get selected for the ODI team without playing in the domestic, tournaments. What sort of message are we sending to the youngsters coming through? The under 16, the under 19 players, the youngsters that will be working hard and, wanting to burst through. People will say once they burst through or once they become known, they will walk in the same path of going away to play franchise cricket, so it doesn't matter. People will say that. But until they are able to get there, we need to keep the system together. We need to keep the structure. It's not a perfect system. I have said it several times. It's not a perfect system, but it is what we have in place. So, for argument's sake, now we have people playing in the first class, in the 4-day regional championship, trying their best, scoring runs, and then because a man or 4 or 5 players dominating in franchise cricket all over the world, you understand? What are we going to tell the youngsters coming through? How are we going to tell them, say, well, just continue doing your thing. You don't have to go and play cricket in America. You don't have to go and play T10 and T20. Continue fighting on the domestic scene, and then you will be selected for the international team. You can't tell the players that, because the players going to look and say, well, people traveling all over and playing franchise cricket and they are still getting selected. So now that the format or the system of selection has changed, they need to make sure that they are communicating with the youngsters coming through well. You understand? This is something that we have to be careful of. So the analyst Andre Lawrence, this is him now, and I quote, developing a team involves a whole lot more, right? Let's take Puran for example. What sort of red ball cricket has he played? How often has he played? When last he played that's this sort of format? Are they fit enough to play over a 5-day test? Exactly. I have said, even for the bowlers, if you want to look at the bowlers, man bowled 4 overs in a T20 game and basically can put up in foot for the rest of the day. You are going to be asked to bowl sometimes 15, 20 overs for the day. You understand how you're going to work that? That is the reason we have the domestic thing, even though it's not where we want it to be. That is where you build up your stamina, build up all of that. The next thing you might find, people start getting injured because they're pushing their bodies beyond the limit of where it is used to. You understand? So Lawrence is saying, I believe you have to make sure that you come through that system. I 100% agree with that, brother. I know that people will say that, these guys are talented. They are talented, yes, but we have seen it before. We have seen it before, my people. I am happy that they are opening the door, but I don't know if you want to just take the inches off the door. Take the door off and take the inches off also. You understand? They don't have any lock to turn. They don't have any door to push. They don't even have to worry about the inches flapping on the door. They can just say, let's go around and play franchise cricket and then say, oh, the franchise cricket not playing right now. Me available for play some ODIs and T20s. I am not a big fan of it at all. I am happy that they are considering, finding a way to get these guys involved. But I don't know if it's sending the right message to the youngsters coming through. Some of these guys, you can't change them again. They are 27, 28, 29. They are on the way throughout. So you might get some of them a couple more years out of them. So are we going to totally throw away a system that we have in place to really help bring through youngsters? Let me know what you all think in the comment section, my people. Maybe I am overthinking and overreacting as usual. Big up on yourself.